When a language is lost, a culture is silenced. This is the story of the Kamayo language. Every language tells a story, our story. But today, some of these stories are at risk of being forgotten. Words that carries our culture, our belief, and feelings are slowly fading. Some of our native language describe things in a way no other language can. Say for example, the gentle way we name the wind, the air, and the joy of the festival. Losing these words is like losing who we are. In fact, UNESCO says that nearly half of the world's 7,000 languages are at risk of disappearing. That means the languages our grandparents spoke may no longer be heard by our children. This is why protecting our languages matters. It's not just about words, it's about keeping our identity alive for the future. The Kamayo language is one of the many indigenous languages in the Philippines. It carries the history, traditions, and values of the Kamayo people. Through its words, they tell stories of nature, family, and community life stories that are hundreds of years old. But today, fewer of young people are learning to speak Kamayo fluently. Many prefer to use Filipino or English. And as a result, some of the language's words and expressions are slowly disappearing. Losing the Kamayo language doesn't just mean losing words. It means losing songs, traditions, and a unique way of seeing the world, something that belongs to all of us as part of our shared heritage.
Pagkaiso ko, kasay ko, iso. Unsa man be? Wala. Kanang iso, pagkabata. Sa Binisaya, doon kay hinuoda sa ako. Binisaya na sab. Tapos ngutana. Uno sayan kade, kade unsa mana ay nonana. Unsa man mangutana man sab kang diri sa sa pangutana ko kan mo. Wala. Kung di sila, di ka pasabot, di pasabot mo. Siyempre, magkuhan kita, anong hindi naman makuhan. Kaya may kamayo sa diri.
Well, to be honest, I don't really feel the connections between Kamayo and Bisaya languages since I can only speak Bisaya language, as what I've said, that I was born here in Agusan del Sur, and I was surrounding by people who speak Bisaya language only. So I don't really feel the connections between Kamayo and Bisaya who try to communicate each other. And also my parents is they understand Kamayo language, but they can speak Kamayo language. They only speak also a Bisaya language, but yeah, so we don't usually connect. We can't connect to Kamayus people trying to speak or communicate with us as a Bisaya dialect. Well, yes, of course. I wish I could understand or learn Kamayo language, but then as what I've told you, that I was surrounded by people who only speak Bisaya, and I can't learn Kamayus language if I can't use it verbally or daily. So that's why, yeah, I wish I could learn or understand Kamayo language. Well, if my elder brother or younger brother know how to speak Kamayo language or understand Kamayo language, well, I might feel slightly sad because they understand Kamayo people and I can't, so that's definitely sad for me. Well, if Kamayo's language is no longer used in the future, well, I might feel sad because that's my family's native language. But I do believe that there's a lot of people out there who trying to save that dialect and who try to who try to save that dialect in a way of learning or studying the Kamayus language.
When a language disappears, we don't just lose words, we lose stories passed down through generation, the wisdom of our ancestors, and unique ways of understanding the world. Oral traditions like folk tales and songs vanish. Indigenous knowledge about nature, medicine, and survival is lost, and with it, a sense of belonging and identity fades for communities and for future generations. Losing a language is like losing a library of memories, values, and ways of seeing life that cannot be replaced. Every word carries meaning, every story carries culture, and when they vanish, so that's a part of who we are.
We've seen how losing a language affects culture, knowledge, and identity. This isn't just a personal concern. Linguists, researchers, and global organizations around the world are warning us that language loss is a serious and urgent issue. UNESCO, a global organization that works to protect cultural heritage, reports that indigenous languages are disappearing worldwide. When these languages are lost, unique knowledge systems, traditions, and identities disappear with them too. Here in the Philippines, the Commission sa Wikang Filipino reports that at least 39 indigenous languages are now at risk of extinction. This includes languages spoken by the tribal communities such as Higaonon and Kamay, many of which are no longer being passed on to the younger generations. The Department of Science and Technology also recognizes this problem and supports language preservation through research and digital tools. This includes mobile dictionaries and documentation projects for indigenous languages such as Hanono Manya, helping to record languages before they disappear. At the local level, Kamayo, a regional language spoken in parts of eastern Mindanao, has been identified by linguists and local researchers as a language experiencing language shift, especially among younger speakers. While Kamayo is still spoken today, its use is gradually declining as many speakers shift to Cebuano, Filipino, or English in schools and formal settings. This highlights the need for continued documentation, awareness, and community-based preservation efforts. These studies and initiatives clearly shows that language loss is real, documented, and urgent.
Preserving our languages doesn't have to be completed. It starts with small, everyday actions that anyone can do. First, use the language in your daily life, even simple words and greetings. Second is learn basic words or phrases from your community's native languages. And third is respect indigenous languages and people who speak them. And the last is support preservation's efforts like participating in workshops, reading books, or sharing stories online. Every words we speak, every story we share helps keep our language alive. Language preservation begins with awareness, respect, and everyday use. Together, we can make sure that our words, our stories, and our culture continue to thrive for generations to come.